Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm SirVern, and today I'm going to review Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for the PS5. This is really the first Ratchet and Clank game I've ever played. I think I played, or I may have been exposed to one of the very first ones on the PS2, but I don't remember it at all. I never really had a PS2. My brother had a PS2, and or maybe I played it at a friend's house one time. I never really got into the series. This is the first one that I've played, beaten, that kind of thing. I also own the 2016, I think it came out, that just Ratchet and Clank on the PS4, but never did get around to playing it. But I definitely will after playing this game. What I usually do with my reviews is I go over 5 categories: graphics, performance, gameplay / story, replayability, and fun factor. I average them up and give a score 1 out of 10. So we'll start first with graphics. So man, I've played a few PS5 games now. Demon Souls. Outriders. That's kind of cross-gen, but what else have I played that looks really good? Days Gone is kind of a backwards compatible game. Sackboy's Big Adventure, anyway, a few other games. But this game, I've never seen a game look so good, period, on any console or anything. Demon Souls was a really good looking game. Even Spider-Man for the PS4, also made by Insomniac, was a good looking game. But this game, my jaw was just wide open for a lot of it. There'd be moments where, you'll get on a new planet and just look around because it's just beautiful. The HDR, ray tracing, 4K graphics, you have a few different options. You can run it like at fidelity mode, like ultra, like 4K, full ray tracing at 30 frames a second, or there's like a performance ray tracing mode, which is what I played it at, where you play at 60 frames a second. Still 4K, but I'm not exactly sure. You can watch a few other, Digital Foundry, I think, did a super in-depth review about the graphics. But anyway, it's the best looking game I've ever seen, period. It's just amazing what these new consoles can do. Graphics, I give a 10. The graphics just blew me away. Next up, performance. Overall, the game performs great. I didn't have any problems beating the game start to finish. There was no game-breaking bugs, but I did run into a few hiccups here and there. I had one hard crash towards the end. In fact, after the game, you start like a new game plus kind of thing. It's called something different, but like challenge mode. But I had one hard crash, and a few times I was like super hardcore looking for collectibles, and I would find just odd, rocks you'll fall through or getting stuck in the level. That would not normally happen, but I was on a mission to platinum this game from the very start. So every single environment I went and just thoroughly enjoyed, just looking around behind every nook and cranny, just really exploring and looking for, the golden screws or bolts, whatever, and just, checking out everything in the game. So I think I found some things that most people wouldn't find. But I did find one instance where you're jumping across a huge chasm, which the game is really cool because it's like physics based. You'll get these abilities to jump further and that kind of thing. I won't spoil anything. But I used those abilities, I think, to get places I wasn't supposed to go, or you'd see something out in the distance you need to get, and I would go a shortcut. And sometimes, if you jump from this platform, it would kill you. But if you jump from this platform, it was the same chasm. But anyway, I took a few points off for performance just because I did have a few bugs. One bug that really irritated me was there's an item you can find that helps you find other items. I won't say any more than that, but I found it, and then it just went away out of my inventory for a while, and then I went back and found it again. It anyway, I don't know if I did something wrong, but I Googled it, and other people seem to have that same problem. So anyway, it didn't affect the game. It just made it more difficult to platinum, which I did, by the way. Just now. It's like 1 in the morning on my birthday. Or I guess yesterday was my birthday. But anyway, so I just finished it and wanted to get down here and talk about it real quick while it's fresh on my mind. So performance, I give an 8. So the next category I'm going to get to is gameplay / story. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with Ratchet and Clank. The history behind it, the storylines, all the characters, which is kind of a shame. I wish I would have gotten into them. But I think they've been going since the PS2, right? And there's probably, 6 or so games, maybe even more. So, there's a lot of lore that you can kind of get the gist of. I know that I'm trying not to ruin anything, but there's some backstory. I think it would have helped if I had played it, but absolutely not necessary. It doesn't seem to have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's I made a little edit right there. So the gameplay, perfect. I mean, whenever I was in the middle of the game, I don't know, 3 hours in or so, I almost was like, this may be just like a perfect 3D platforming, upgrade your guns. That is so cool. It's like, you'll play some platforming games that are fun, but man, you get these weapons that are so unique. That is so cool. I didn't really know much about Ratchet and Clank, other than you have cool weapons and that's it, But the weapons are just so unique. I don't want to understate that. They do cool things, like one's a sprinkler head and it turns enemies into like grass and flowers, and then you have a chance to kill them. Or you can pixelate enemies, like shoot them with a gun and it pixelates them until they explode. It's just so much fun. You can tell they had fun with this game making it. The gameplay, you can glide around, you're really fast, it's really responsive, the guns feel good. So that they did have fun with the game, and that leads me to the story. So like I said, I'm not a huge Ratchet and Clank fan. I don't know anything about the lore. First game I finished, or I don't know if I've played one. I may have, but I really don't remember anything about them. So this is the first Ratchet and Clank game of mine. But the story is kind of goofy, right? I've heard a few other YouTubers say that, it's just for kids, or I'm not playing as a little fluffy squirrel. He's a wombat or something, but I understand where they're coming from. But this thing just was funny. Sometimes it can be a bit goofy. So that's why I took 1 point off. I had a 10 at gameplay story. I just marked it down to a 9. But man, it's good. It's really good. I really liked it. Okay, I'm back. I had to cut for a second. But anyway, so the story, knocked it down to a 9. The next category is replayability. So the game took me, I would guess, around 13 to 15 hours to beat, somewhere around in there. Maybe a little longer, but somewhere around there. I platinumed the game, did everything you can do in the game to platinum it. This is becoming, I guess, like a pet peeve of mine. I like when games are attainable, like the platinum, when games are attainable, but I do not like when they're super easy. I think there should be one trophy that should outlast the rest. Maybe get a ton of kills. Something that you have to put a time investment into. Because a game like this, a single player game only, needs something like that to improve the longevity of a game. Some people might think that's crazy. They do have a mode afterwards, once you beat it, that you can go through with your same weapons, buy new weapons, enemies become harder, that kind of thing. But as I said in one of my previous videos talking about are trophies good or bad, this is where it becomes bad to me. I love trophies. You know, if a game has trophies, I'm going to do that. Like if a game's on the Switch and the PS5, of course I'm going to play it on the PS5 because I want trophies. I like that extra incentive to do things you wouldn't normally do. Like use different guns in this game was super fun. So replayability, man, I gave it a 3. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just I'm not probably gonna go back and play this one. There's so many other ones, you know. I have that Ratchet and Clank that came out along with the movie. I think it was based on the movie. I have that one on PS4 that I'll probably play soon. You know, I really enjoyed this game, but to me, it's like I platinumed the game on one playthrough, and all I had to do was start the next playthrough to get the platinum, like get the last trophy I needed. So it pains me to say replayability a 3. I don't think I'd play it again. Not because I didn't enjoy it, but there's really no incentive to play it again, especially when there's like 5 or 6 other Ratchet and Clank games I can get to beat. But would I recommend it? Heck yes. It's an awesome game. Fun factor. So, as you can probably tell by my enthusiasm, I loved this game. I had a lot of fun with it. The gunplay was so much fun. Upgrading the weapons was so much fun. Exploring all the worlds was awesome. There's different modes of transportation. The loading times, I didn't even get to that, are insane. Like you'll go through rifts, which are like tears in time, and you'll have a new environment. Like you can just go back and forth between like the past, the future, when stuff's destroyed. It is crazy what the PS5 can do with loading times. And that just adds to the fun because you're not sitting around waiting for anything. I mean, it is like instantaneous. You'll portal in this game, and it's even faster than like Returnal. Returnal's another PS5 game that looks really good, but I mean, Returnal looks good. Doesn't look anything like Ratchet and Clank, in my opinion. Ratchet and Clank is the best looking game I've ever seen. So fun factor, I gave it 10. So, I mean, this game I was throwing a lot of 10s at. I did knock gameplay and story to a 9, but so I'll recap real quick. Graphics, I gave it 10. Easy to give that a 10. Performance, I gave it 8. Respectable. Gameplay / story, I gave a 9. Replayability, I gave a 3. And fun factor, I gave a 10. If you average those up, I gave Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for the PS5 an 8 out of 10. Just some notes at the end. I wrote more in-game. I know there is in-game, but I'm not interested unless they had a trophy or maybe some DLC down the road. I don't know if Ratchet and Clank even does that. But they need... I was like kind of bummed out. When I restarted the game, you can start with a new challenge mode. I mean, the game was not hard. I mean, I died a few times because of error, you know, my fault. I did it under normal. I wish I'd have done it under hard, but once again, there should have been something like that. Beat the game on New Game Plus. They don't call it that, but beat the game under New Game Plus. Like something like that to make you beat it twice. That's what I would have wished for. I beat it one time under normal, and I think you could have beat it under easy and still gotten the trophy. That would have ruined the game. I would never do that, but some people do. Some people want to play it on easy. I don't, you know, and that's fine. But more in game. And when I say more in game, I'm honestly just talking about trophies. And my next note is too easy. Trophies are too easy too, because I got 90% of the trophies without really trying. I assumed that the trophies would entail using different weapons, right? And I was just trying to upgrade them fully, all my weapons. And just by doing that, I got all the trophies. The only ones, like I said, that were a pain were the ones that were only unattainable because of a glitch. Because the thing that you find helps you find the things to get the trophy. And it was glitched out. So that's why I knocked it down a few points. And that was the end of my last note was glitches. But just to recap it all, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was one of my favorite PS5 games so far. it's amazing. You know, it really is. It's an awesome experience. It didn't overstay its welcome. It was good without not being too long. Like, I just got done beating Days Gone, and I sunk what, like 60 or so hours into that game, maybe even more. And I was just exhausted. And I told my buddy, I was like, I'm playing a short game next. And I heard Ratchet and Clank was around that, 10 to 15 hour sweet spot for me. And I was like, that's what I'm doing. Because I'm also in the middle of Returnal, which I don't know if that's a long game, but man, it is a tough game. So anyway, that's my review for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I'm gonna throw some screenshots in. If I haven't already put some in there, you'll get to see some from the game. And I sent these over from my PS5 to Twitter or to the PlayStation Messages app. So it's not going to be great. I'm going to figure out how to show the quality the way it should look, like edit a video from my PS5, because I know you can do that. But for now, I'm just sticking with the old phone. So anyway, follow me on my social media. It'll be in the description.